This is Open Studio, a podcast where I invite artists that I know and admire to join me for unfiltered conversations about all things creative. My guest today is a true local legend. Some people call him Holden, but he's better known as Big Kill. He's a musician, a filmmaker, a painter, the artist behind the intro music to this podcast, and of course, a great friend. If you're not a huge fan yet, you will be soon. I'll leave a link to all his work in the description. Also, if you haven't already, please go and check out my Patreon page. It's a great way to stay connected with everything that I'm doing, and a subscription, even in the smallest amount, makes a huge difference to me. With that, let's get into it. You're getting into painting more now than you were, like, let's say, a year ago or whatever?
Ish, yes.
Yeah.
But also no, because I've always been into painting.
Yeah.
In a way where I started on canvas with oil, and when I was a child, I sent you those.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah. Dude, those were so funny, yeah.
And then I worked mainly in graphite for like the like how easy it is.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, I don't know, like there was always an allure of animation. I wanted to do animation.
Okay. Yeah.
And especially since what we were talking about before, I work with all the Newgrounds people. Like I feel like I was a part of all those people back in the day on Newgrounds.
Sure, man. Yeah.
And then the era of the Wacom came, and I
so you're doing like
only
digital
painted in Photoshop.
Okay. Yeah.
And that was probably like, I think I bought my first Wacom in 2007.
Fuck, man.
Yeah.
So you've been doing that a long time.
Yes.
Dude, that is the crazy thing. I actually think you have been painting and drawing longer than me and Vinny.
Maybe.
You definitely
I've been
have.
doing it since I was a child.
So me too, but there was like a very long. I used to draw when I was a kid, but there was a very long break in my life where I didn't do it at all. Whereas I feel like for you, it's been a little more consistent, where you've like it's still something you're doing from time to time.
Yeah, I've been consistently doing it since
Yeah.
that age.
So you have
Even
been
like
doing
when
it
I feel
longer.
like I haven't produced anything, like during when I was in film school and stuff like that, then I did still like draw.
Yeah.
I did storyboards, and
Yeah.
I did, like there's always like there's always a use for drawing, and I never I never ever felt like I was good at it, like good enough at it.
Really?
No, I was always like, nah, it's just something that I like to do. It's like a little bit of an escape,
Yeah, sure.
But I feel like that's the same way with like all the creative endeavors that I do, except maybe filmmaking. Because there is where I'm like, this is where I put my money at. This is what I decided that this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah. As a career, let's say.
Yeah.
There's like a way
I'm
to
gonna make money off of it.
Yeah.
Still haven't made money from drawing.
Yeah. Not yet, dude.
Made a little bit from music, but I have had if I wasn't a professional filmmaker, I wouldn't have met you.
Yeah, dude, there you go. Exactly, man. Yeah, it's weird how I feel like doing something creative for money, for me it's changed the way that I approach painting because of the pressure of also needing to sell stuff.
Yes, definitely.
And now more than ever, man, I'm really starting to feel burdened by it. I don't like that pressure. I literally last week I was lying in bed trying to fall asleep, and I was thinking fuck, man, maybe I'd just get a regular job and just paint for myself again, because I think I would fall in love with painting again in a way that I haven't felt for a little while. Don't get me wrong, I still love it. I still love doing it. I do it every day. I wouldn't still be doing it if I didn't enjoy it. But it is there's a little bit more, I feel more constrained because there's the pressure of needing to sell work, or people expect me to paint a certain kind of painting or whatever. No, and as much as I try not to think about it, it's still there.
I don't think the pressure is that you need to sell work. I think the pressure is that right now you need to fucking eat.
Well, yeah, for sure, man.
You need to pay rent.
Yeah, exactly.
And that the fact that you have turned your passion into your main source of income is okay. There's a lot of things I want to say about this.
Let's go.
A filmmaker teacher, a screenwriting teacher, my first screenwriting teacher in Edelviks Folkhögskola in the north of Sweden.
World famous.
Yes. That's where I shot my feature film. He said something to me that I haven't been able to let go. And it's like all creative processes go in circles. And it's like, sorry. Here's the circle, you know? And up here, it's the best fucking thing that you've ever done in your life. You're just loving every minute of it. And then here, it's kind of eh. And here you want to kill yourself. And here's like eh. And here's the best again. And the amount of time it takes to go around the circle differs.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
But you're always going to go around that circle.
Yeah, wow, man. That's fucking awesome.
And
that's beautiful.
So like, you keep thinking about that, even like fucking turning your like hobby into work. Even like no matter how passionate you are about it, you're adding a bunch of pressure.
Yes.
That is going to affect how you think about it and how you stress about it.
That's the biggest thing, man, is the fucking stress.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, like that's what gets to me. But I resonate with that idea of like, you know, it always comes back around in a way. And I feel like right now I'm like, if I'm not at the bottom of the circle, I'm pretty fucking close. But like, it's always nice to like remind myself that I'll get out of it again. You know, like it's going to happen.
That's just how I think about everything in life. It's like, okay, it's shit now. Hopefully it'll get better soon.
But man, you have to, right? Like if I didn't think like that, I wouldn't be here. Like, I don't know. I think it would just be too overwhelming for me. Yeah. Yeah. Like I need to keep that level of positivity on some level.
Yeah, no, yeah. And then in like I needed to be able to carry through. The second thing I wanted to say about turning your work into passion, or your passion into work, is when it comes to like filmmaking. I have been paid to direct something. I've been paid to write something. I've been paid to edit something a lot of times. I've been paid to shoot something. I've never, ever been paid to do any of those things to something that I want to do. Yeah. Ever.
Yeah. It's always someone else's project or someone else's whim, or they're in control.
If I want to do it, I'll just jump on it. I'll be like, I'll do it for free. Like, I don't care. Like, if it's something I want to do, like maybe like, you know, I'll stop myself and be like, okay, hey, give me at least something. Yeah. Like this Flat Earth movie I produced. I was like, I'm super down to produce. He's like, I don't have any money. I can go down. You know, like that was my first thing. I was like, yeah, because I love the concept. It's more so that I loved his previous work, and I felt like his last film before this one had like lack in the production department. Yeah, sure. And I was like, I could hopefully make that up. Yeah, yeah. But then I went from like less than 30% of my normal fee for students, which is like
already lower. Probably.
Already like that's like less than 30% of my normal fee. Jesus. Man. So, and I was like, yeah, I'll fucking do it. And I worked my fucking ass off, more than like I was doing dailies and like making sure we had all the footage, and I was like driving the car and you know like. All that jazz, but in the end, like I'm really happy I did it, even though it wasn't worth it. You know, like money wise, it was worth it creatively. Like no, yeah, because there's a good product that came out of it. You know, something that I can look back at and be like, this is fun. Yeah, but dude, that to me has like almost more value than making a fat paycheck, right? Like having the opportunity to work on a project that you actually enjoyed, or like you felt like you were able to contribute and you made something cool. That's super valuable. For sure. Until you have to eat. Until you have to eat, yeah. No, of course, man. But I think that's the balance that's difficult. Is like, and I don't know, like what's the percentage for you of like shit that you're doing just for yourself because you like doing it versus like shit that you're doing for money? Right now, yeah. I think I'm doing 10% for yourself. For myself. Wow. Yeah. Wow. And that 10% is probably big kill. Yeah. All the way through. It's not film stuff. I mean, I have the short film that I'm working on, but you know, I haven't really touched it since I shot it and finished the edit. Yeah. And the reason it's taking so long to finish is because we don't have we didn't raise all the money. So like that money's coming out of my pocket as well. So like that's the thing when it comes to, because like I love the fact that I can like go and make a painting and like make an entire project that costs me maybe like 2,000 crowns.
Yeah, sure.
Whereas if I'm making a project that I'm going to be proud of, film wise, I know it's going to burn a fucking hole through my underwear, not even my pocket.
It's way more expensive. Yeah.
And it's about like racing, like you have to raise so much money to make a film.
I know, man.
And to be honest, like most of the time I've never actually raised the money. I've most of the time paid it out of my own pocket. Even like with latest one, we had a fundraising thing happening.
Mm-hmm. Like Kickstarter or GoFundMe?
Yeah, Kickstarter. And we got all the money from the Kickstarter. Then there's a period between the last day of the Kickstarter. There's like a 14-day, a fortnight.
God damn, I can't believe you weaseled that word in there. Oh, fuck.
There's a waiting period before you get your money. And in that waiting period before you get your money, they're actually taking like the payments from the registered cards or whatever.
Okay.
And about 30% of the people who gave money to the Kickstarter did not pull through.
So what, like their cards were declined, or
yeah,
they
like
just
they didn't have money in their account when it was time to pay up.
Oh my God.
So
That's so frustrating.
But I kind of like just we had already started shooting. I already thought we had the money. It was like middle of the shoot, like second day of the shoot, where I realized we lost. I don't even know how much money, but we were fucked,
man.
And I'm still paying that off, like
Jesus.
to this day.
That sucks so much.
Yeah, it sucks, but it's also like, I should have asked for more.
Yeah, I know, but you would, I don't know, like I am the kind of person where if somebody says they're going to pay me for something, like I kind of take them at their word and I try and
like,
right?
Some of these people are completely randos, like,
no, exactly.
online.
Yeah, but that's the problem is like, at the end of the day, like not everyone is going to pull through and like not everyone is trustworthy enough to actually like, come through on their promise of like supporting you, but it's still a shitty fucking feeling, like if you're expecting it and it goes away.
Yeah, especially since we were all in like, fully dressed
doing it.
sets
I know,
and working on the project.
Yeah.
But then I learned that, and like the only people that really have to pay for this small inconvenience is me and my pockets, and then also like all the people who
and
gave
your underwear,
who gave money, who gave money to the project and are like waiting for it to be done, because it was promised to be done a year from when it was shot.
Yeah, that's like the part of doing some kind of like crowdfunding that kind of like scares me in a way, because like people really, if they're giving money towards a big project, like they want results.
I mean, like, I'm not required to give results.
No,
like I'm
I know
legally
you're not.
allowed not to release the film and get away with getting that money, but it's also like I'm going to finish it.
Of course, man. Yeah, it's more
let
the
me
principle.
take the time it takes to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's a hard process, and it's also about like like once you've written a fucking short film or even a feature film or anything, it's like you've done, like once you've written the final shooting draft, you've done 70% of the writing. Yeah, the rest is like stuff you realize too late. And then also like the final like 20% of the writing happens in the edit.
Yeah, 100%.
Once you've already shot it.
Yeah.
And then you have a little stuff that comes from just like realizing stuff on set while you're there. Because like it's just a unique time frame.
Yeah.
Being on set, being like, hey, I worked like how much I knew I was going to make the last short in September in May. And that was in May of 2021. So in May of 2021, I found out that, okay, I got the opportunity to shoot a short film. I got a bunch of support from people, and all I needed to do was write a script and raise the remaining money. I was like, fuck yeah, I'm going to do that. I forgot where I was going with this. But like, that's what I was saying. Sorry. So the thing was, going like from that, because also we didn't end up shooting until November, like late
Is this
November.
Spiral or is
Yes.
this something else? Okay, all right, okay.
So we from May until late November, I was working at least an hour a day.
On
Most
script.
likely more.
Yeah.
On script and pre-production planning, scheduling.
Yeah, sure.
And all, like, working with all the different departments and figuring out all the stuff. I mean, like, we lost someone, someone jumped off ship like a couple of weeks before shooting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like all of this stress and stuff. And then you're like thinking that you know what you're fucking doing when you're getting on set. And you're like, I know what it's supposed to be, but also I have not seen any of it yet.
Yeah, no, of course.
I have to see it happen now. And then once you actually see your actor or whatever like happening before your eyes, and like you're there in the moment and you're watching it and you're like, this will be better. There's more stuff like that you can think of. And then like you always try different things.
Well, of course, man, because I don't think the creative process ends at like when the script writing is done or the pre-pro is done. Like it's when you're shooting, that's also part of the creative process, and you have to make decisions and change things on the spot.
That's very true, but I'm also like that. That's like my director side says yes, that's very true. My producer side says fuck you.
No, I know.
Like
I know.
you're supposed to know everything.
Of course, man. Yeah, and then that's where it's complicated. Like when you're working on, let's say, a bigger shoot where you actually have like like multiple people, like 3 producers or 1, whatever. Like you're not in charge of every element of it. Then that's when that gets in the way and it can get really complicated. But like in my limited experience of making like short films, which I used to love to fucking do, like it was always just me, man. Like I would write a script, I would fucking get a camera. I would direct it. I'd find some of my friends to act in it, and we'd do some. And like I had total control over it, and I would edit it too. And like that was nice because like I felt like I was able to like let's say I'm on set shooting something, like I was able to make new decisions while I was there because I wasn't answering to anybody else, or like no one else was telling me what I needed to do necessarily. Yeah.
And that's the good part about being the director on set, because no matter what, like creatively, you are in charge, no matter what.
Yeah,
but then
for
again,
sure.
then again, like if your creativity clashes with the money or the time, sorry, dude.
Yeah, man. This is also like, I don't know why I think I stopped making films, and maybe it makes me an asshole, but like having to deal with all of these different people with their own interests is like really exhausting sometimes, man. Like I have a hard time with it, to be honest. And I'm also kind of a control freak. Like I want to be in charge,
Yeah.
When it comes to creative shit. In the rest of my life, not so much. But like when it comes to creativity, like I really do want to be like the one kind of spearheading things.
Yeah.
And like that experience of needing to like collaborate with people and like deal with people's egos, and like, man, it's not easy for me. I don't know if it's easy for anybody, honestly.
I mean, like, for me, it doesn't affect me that much.
Really?
To be honest, no. It does. Okay, it does affect me because there's a huge difference between being on set and being on set as being like there's a huge difference between being the brain and being a cog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I'm just a cog in the machine, and I'm not like a department head, then it's like, it's just like going to an office.
Yeah.
But it's more fun. It's like, I'm going here, and even when I was a fucking flag guard and on like some of the first productions I was doing, I still like standing here and stopping cars for the like love of art. Then I like sitting in an office as a programmer. But when you're the director, it's like it feels like everyone is kind of listening to you.
Yeah.
And they're all trying, Otherwise, like, well, if they aren't trying to meet my vision, then I would fire them.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because that's like as a director, I feel like the main responsibility of your job on set, apart from which I find is like something that people don't really respect, is like taking care of the actors, making sure you're directing them well. Which is like, I still see people who are like professional directors who, because I working as an actor, I go on big productions and get shit direction. And I feel like, what the fuck? This person is getting paid this much money to do this job and
be bad at it.
They're fucking sucking at it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, most likely they have done something other you know, like they're better with working with the camera or better with working with the story and all that shit. But there's like my biggest thing, pet peeve as a director is like I love working with actors. I love seeing performances.
Yeah.
Whereas apart from taking care of the performances, the biggest job of a director is to make sure that everyone is making the same film.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
it's like steering the ship, man. Like you have to make sure everyone's pointed in the same direction.
yeah,
basically.
no, it's literally like, you know, if I was painting one of these paintings and then you would be like, add 20% cadmium yellow and then add cranium red or whatever the fuck.
Cranium red.
And then you put this in this area and like you would tell me how to like do the vision, like this is what it looks like, and you would describe it in words, feelings, or whatever way you can describe it, and then you would try to get your crew to achieve that in any way possible. But it's just like, also there's so many roles on a film set where you can just be like, I don't give a shit. Like you don't have to know the script or story, you just have to do your job.
Yeah, that's true, man.
Like literally my friend was paid for walking in a circle for like 4 hours.
Why?
They were doing a wide of a football field, and there was a huge gymnasium behind the football field.
Yeah.
And on the top, there was these windows, and inside the gymnasium, there's a motion sensor.
So he needed to like just
He
activate.
was just walking around to activate the motion sensor for 4 fucking hours.
Crazy, man.
Yes.
That's fucking crazy.
And this is when I worked with the cinematographer who shot Ida.
Mm-hmm,
Like I think he was nominated for an Oscar.
Insane, man. What did you work on with him?
This was a film called The Hereafter in 2013.
Okay, yeah.
In Sweden.
Yeah.
But it was like it was a weird vibe because it was like camera. The entire camera grip electrical crew was Polish, and the entire production crew and the director was Swedish.
Weird, man.
And there was some Danes involved as well, because I think Centropa was the producers.
Yeah, if
I'm not mistaken. But that's the thing, because like director, really cool guy. He did a kickflip on my skateboard. He studied in Łódź or Lutz or whatever it's called. Like
in Poland, yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest film schools in Europe.
Yeah. It's very famous, man. Yeah.
And because of like doing there was a film that he did as his final film that he sent me after we worked in this film. That was really fucking good. It was just 2 detectives like going through a crime scene and like going back with one of the victims maybe, and it was just very, very well done. I just remembered it now. Sorry. But he studied there, and that's how like so the. I think this was the next project after the cinematographer did Ida, so no one knew that he was fucking amazing yet.
Oh,
because he hadn't been nominated for an Oscar.
Yeah, sure.
And then he got his entire crew from Poland, from the school basically, to come to Sweden and shoot in my fucking hometown.
So fucking sick, man. That's so cool.
Yeah. I'm even like proudly an extra in the background with my fringe jacket.
Hell yeah. That's such a sick jacket too, man.
I know. It's in my backpack right now.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, man, that's one of the things too about like working in film. I feel like you get to like if you're lucky anyway, you get to surround yourself with people who are like really fucking good at what they do and like learn a lot from them. Like you get the opportunity to like, even if you're just a, fly on the wall watching someone else do it, like it's a lot easier to get like kind of, the knowledge through osmosis on a film set than it is with painting, because like I don't know. I'm not like, I mean, maybe I could ask and like find people, but it's a lot. I feel like it's harder to go and like, sit in someone's studio and watch them paint, or, like be in that experience.
But it is nice to have other people with the same, like, work to talk to. Like I ask you and Aiden a lot of questions about like, what do you do with this thing? I'm not asking like, how do you do this thing? I'm asking like, what do you do with this thing?
Yeah, for sure.
And
man.
then,
that's true.
like even now when I was saying like, oh, you just leave your blobs.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't. And it's interesting. Like it doesn't fucking matter in the end,
No, it doesn't at all. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
But it's just nice to like see someone else's process.
I agree with you.
But I feel like that's way more important to do, or also more important to do as a painter than a filmmaker, but it's also easier to do as a painter because all you need to do is just talk to another painter.
Yeah, that's true.
Trying to talk to a producer or a director can be really fucking hard. Most of the time when I've tried to talk to like bigger directors, I've gotten pretty solid responses. Like they've been very nice.
Yeah.
But producers, man, I'm not gonna like. Did I tell you the story of how I got on the house that Jack built?
No, please tell me.
Not gonna mention any names here.
Okay.
But there's this one producer guy. He was a line producer on a TV show I was working on, and I know I knew that he was like he works a lot with Centropa Sweden, so he's involved there, and I knew that that Lars von Trier was gonna go shoot very soon, and we were at the wrap party of the TV show. And I walk up to this guy and I'm like, okay, so like I have bar none just been the best guy. Like, I overslept once and it made a little bit of a fuck up during the entire like 8 weeks of production.
Yeah, sure.
But I was on the camera team. I was on the production team. I was like there every day. I was always helping out with stuff. I was on the art team. I was on fucking every department as a fucking assistant. I was just really showing like what I'm here to help. I wanted to show especially the guy who was the producer, because I knew he was working for Centropa and I knew that Lars von Trier was going to shoot a film soon, and I really wanted to be on it. I wanted to, like, dude, he's an asshole, sure, but I love his films, and I wanted to see him work, and so I thought that I'm gonna, like, you know, this is how I'm gonna climb the industry. On the wrap party, we're a little tipsy, both of us. I might have even been more than tipsy. And we're talking, and I was like, yeah, so I heard that House of Jack build is happening soon, like, where it's going to be shooting. This must have been 2017? Yeah. No, it was the fall of 2016.
Okay.
I tell him, yeah, you know, I know that it's going to happen soon. It's probably going to happen in Sweden. So, like, if there's any way that I can get on that project and help out, I would love to, because, like, Dogville for me is one of the best fucking films ever made. It was shot in my hometown. It's one of the reasons why I want to be a director. And he looks at me and he's like, can't hire you because you're fucking starstruck. And then he walks off. This is the last time I spoke to him in a friendly manner.
Jesus, man.
And I got sad, obviously. I mean, like, I had really pulled my shit out for this guy. Yeah. And I'm not even sure he remembers my name at this point, you know. And a couple of weeks go by, not even months. So it's like maybe like 3 or 4 months. And he makes a post on Facebook. It's like, emergency, need a driver for a film set tomorrow morning.
I remember this. You told me. Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm like sitting there looking at his post, and I'm like, I just like it. And then I wait and leave it. 15 minutes later, he calls me, and he's like, are you available? Could you maybe do this? I was like, sure. Why not? And then I have to, like, go up at 6 a.m., get a car from the Gothenburg airport, drive to Stockholm, pick up a 30-liter bucket of blood, and drive to almost all the way back to Gothenburg. So it's like coast-to-coast driving. It's the entire fucking day of driving. I don't know why they needed this specific blood, why they couldn't get the blood anywhere else. But it was the people in Stockholm, this makeup company was doing this big bucket of blood. I'm assuming it's when he drags the corpse behind the car. I don't know if you saw the movie. Oh, it's a good movie. It's a very funny film.
Yeah, I will definitely watch it.
But I got there. I got to speak with one of the producers just to sort out my deal, which was the same producer from Hereafter, not the one that was like the line producer who was giving me shit, who also hired me, but like the main producer. And she's always a peach. But while I was in the middle of the conversation with her, they were all having lunch, and I was standing, and I was basically standing here, and she was standing where I'm at, and then I look to the side, and I see fucking Lars von Trier eating, and then I got fucking starstruck. You know?
Yeah,
I called people in the car home, and I was like, I was like 2 years away from that guy.
You didn't say anything to him, though.
I did not say
No.
anything,
Yeah.
but I thought about his video from Cannes, which is the funniest video in
The
my
Hitler
life.
defense.
What?
The Hitler defense? Is that the one you're talking
Yeah,
about?
when he's just talking himself into a corner.
Yeah. That shit is hilarious, man.
Love
yeah.
that.
Yeah, that shit is very funny. Wow, man, you're a brush with fame. You got so close.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, that's the only time I've ever gotten starstruck.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
I've worked with other, like, bigger people.
Yeah.
But it's never, like, because I don't really... I didn't, until that day, I didn't understand the concept of being starstruck. Because I didn't understand what it meant. But then it was like, I was just giggly.
Yeah, because I think it's different when, like, it's not even so much about how famous or well-known they are. It has to do with, like, at least for me, it's like how much I admire and respect them.
Exactly.
Like, if I met someone who was, like, one of my heroes, it would be way scarier than just meeting some random famous person.
Well, that's true. That's true. Because, like, what's his name? The other... I was going to say John C. Reilly, but the other C. Michael C. Hall.
Yeah.
I acted with him in a scene.
I know, that's right. You told me. Yeah.
And it was just like, because I didn't know him from anything.
Yeah.
I didn't respect his. Oh, like, of course I respect his work. He's a good actor.
Yeah.
I know that from acting with him, not from watching him. I saw him in one film called Paycheck with Ben Affleck, and I was like, yeah, this movie's fun.
Wait, wasn't he Dexter?
Yes.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Dexter.
Yeah. So yeah, you don't have the
But there's definitely like he's a powerful presence. Like having a conversation with that man, he's like he takes up the entire room just by his voice.
Really?
Yeah, he's very, very like, I don't know, present.
like commanding.
Almost like he talks like very friendly and nice, but just the way he's like carrying his voice and the depth of his voice was very like, wow. I was like, this man would win any argument against me. But he was just talking about because we were talking about music the entire time we were hanging out, because we were just sitting in the fucking back of the set waiting for them to call us out. So we were talking about I was talking about Big Kill,
Really? Did you play him some Big Kill?
No, I didn't play him Big Kill. I'm not gonna sit there and play like, you want to hear my shit?
That would be so funny, man.
I wish I'd done that, but no. But then he was like, he was talking about, no, I'm also doing some music now, and he was saying that like, basically like he, it's this whatever he's doing here in Europe, it's just he's just getting paid,
That's it. Yeah.
His real passion project at the time, or what it felt like when he was talking to me, was he was playing Hedwig in Hedwig and the Angry Inch. He was doing a setup of that.
I don't know.
I haven't seen it myself. There is a film version, but I feel like when it comes to musicals, you should see them live.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, like I've been wanting like to see like Book of Mormon forever, but I'm like, I want to see it live. I don't want to see some like weird shot version. No, it's also like Elle was trying to get me to see, I was gonna say Hamlet, but not Hamlet, the other one, Hamilton. Because she keeps listening to the music, and I'm like, yeah, but it also like, this is like someone shot a fucking play. I don't want to watch a play through a camera.
No, it's so much more about the experience for a musical. Like, I don't think I could watch, like, even musicals that I've watched, like Moulin Rouge and all that. Like, I don't really enjoy them that much.
But Moulin Rouge, Moulin Rouge works in film because of Baz Luhrmann and his style.
Yeah, that's true.
Take like a more tried and true like Les Miserables.
Yeah,
fucking snore fest.
Yeah,
man.
absolutely.
Whenever, like I wanted to say whenever Russell Crowe speaks, but he never fucking speaks. He sings the entire film, right? But it's so like boring. It's like I could fall asleep to that movie anytime.
I actually think I've only seen like the first 20 minutes of it because
Same.
I was so bored. Yeah, I agree with you.
But Moulin Rouge, I fucking love, mainly because of okay, there's so many reasons. But like, what's his name? Ewan McGregor is such a great actor, and he's a great singer. And like, if I were to list my top 3 actresses in the world of all time, all 3 would be Australian, and one of them would be Nicole Kidman. Yeah,
there you go, man. That's part of the reason.
Kate Blanchett and Naomi Watts.
Those are the other 2?
Yeah.
Who's Naomi Watts? I know Kate Blanchett.
Kate Blanchett is number 1. For sure. Best actress ever.
Really?
Best
of all
actress.
time.
Dude, watch like just her scene from Coffee and Cigarettes. Oh my God.
She's in Coffee and Cigarettes?
Yeah, she plays against herself in a short called Cousins.
Really? Why do I not remember that? Okay,
don't
I
know.
do.
It's one of the best
I have to
ones.
rewatch it. I have to rewatch it, yeah.
But also like just in general, like everything she touches turns into gold. Naomi Watts is like King Kong, Funny Games, and Mulholland Drive.
Okay, yeah. I know.
Mulholland Drive is like.
Yeah, I know you do. It's funny that they're all Australian, man.
Yeah,
I wonder what that is.
it's way harder to pick male actors though.
Best of all time.
I know
maybe.
one.
Yeah.
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Undeniable, I would say, man.
I used to be able to put what's his name, Daniel Day-Lewis here.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm also like, I'm kind of like, well, okay, if anyone has worked hard enough with the method and succeeded, it is him. Because everyone else who's done it have like, you know, kind of just taken it to the level of you're just an asshole.
Yeah.
Especially like when you hear the stories about like Jared Leto.
Oh, yeah.
And even like the documentary about Jim Carrey.
Yeah, the Andy Kaufman one. Yeah.
Andy Kaufman's
what is that?
legend.
Yeah, Andy Kaufman's like, man, that documentary is so fascinating. Like seeing the extent to which Jim Carrey like took his
but like
that
re-edited
character.
it a little bit and just he looks like the biggest asshole in the world.
That was my takeaway from it, man. Is that he was like an ass, you know, and he's like did it under the guise of it being art, but he was still a dick.
Yeah,
Like, it doesn't take away from the fact that he treated people badly.
yeah.
And
like, you know, like when it comes to oh yeah, no, I found it. I think now, in my grown sense, like as a being someone like if my sister hears this, she knows that I've like hated on this person so much throughout the years. But I have two that I could put in my top three.
Okay.
Nicolas Cage.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So much respect for him nowadays. Especially the latest film I saw with him was The Unbearable Talent of
Weight of Massive Talent. Yeah,
The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
It was so entertaining, man. I really liked that movie as well. Yeah.
I think before that it was like Color Out of Space, which was just like a pretty bad movie, to be honest. But
I feel like I haven't seen a movie with him in a long. Maybe Kick-Ass was the last movie I saw with him in it that I can remember. But that was what, 2013,
11.
Yeah.
11.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah.
Yeah, 11.
Yeah, that's
no,
crazy.
Wait. So it's 2009.
I think it's earlier. Yeah,
it's 2009.
I think it is earlier.
Because 2013 was, I think, the year where the girl had a double feature. She came out with Kick-Ass 2 and
Chloe
Carrie.
Grace Moretz.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like she's still doing a lot of shit. I would have Joaquin on my list. I fucking love Joaquin Phoenix, man.
I think he's a good contender, but I think there could be another one.
Yeah, I'm sure there's somebody we're forgetting.
Yeah, but it's always fun to think about.
Yeah, that's true, man. Yeah, who else would I don't know for like actresses who I would put on my list.
Would you put on Nicolas Cage on yours? I mean, like, go back and watch like fucking Wild at Heart, Con Air, Gone in 60 Seconds,
man. Raising Arizona.
Face Off.
Yeah. No, dude,
Leaving Las Vegas.
I love and have always loved Nicolas Cage. Like, even when I think like people were kind of ragging on him a lot, I still defended him because like he's entertaining. He's an entertainer in a way that I don't know. I've always liked him. I don't know that I would put him in my top actors of all time, though.
That's why it's more controversial for me because I've hated him at some points. I've been like, what the fuck is he doing?
Yeah.
Because I didn't understand what was happening. And then slowly, as I grew more into... I think the more I learned about the history of filmmaking and acting in specific, the more I started to like realize that basically what happened was... Or like the way that I've come to understand it is that Marlon Brando did something in like Streetcar Named Desire or whatever.
Yeah.
Which made everyone like, because before the 60s, acting was different.
Yeah, very different.
Very
yeah.
different.
It was stiffer.
Yeah, it was more. It came from vaudeville and that shit.
And it
you
came
know?
from plays too, right?
Yeah.
It was like more, yeah.
It was like on stage entertainment.
Yeah, yeah.
And after Brando started his shit, and he changed the entire industry, and he like his way of doing it became the standard. It was like, you know, it's supposed to be natural and minimalistic or whatever. You know, like the way that every good performance gets rewarded now is because they're doing it like Brando did.
Yeah.
And that is where most of my respect for Nicolas Cage comes in, because he's like, I'm not gonna do it that way. I'm gonna do it this way or this way. Like
Yeah,
for what was it, like Ghost Rider? He tried like so he was using some old Japanese acting style that's basically dancing.
Really?
And he was trying to incorporate that, and even earlier on, while he was like trying to like, I think it was Moonstruck with Cheer.
Yeah.
This is 80s or something like that.
I don't never heard of it.
And I haven't seen the film. I just heard him talking about it, where he was trying like he does something with his hand and he screams at his hand, and he does it so over the top, like at the time. But it's also like he was channeling like German expressionism.
But here's my problem with that in a way, because like regardless of what his intention is, even if he's approaching it from that like, oh, this is an homage to some niche part of film history, like if it doesn't read to the audience in that way, or it doesn't work within the context of the film, then it's a failed experiment.
I mean, like most of the times it does. It's just just the thing is, like most people, there was this era when he did Vampire's Kiss where everyone was like, what the fuck? Because that was the time where it didn't work. And also, like, you know, people keep going back to The Wicker Man, which is also one of the ones where
I've only seen the memes, I feel like. Yeah.
Because it's because of it being made fun of so much. It's like there was this one animation back on Newgrounds where it's called Nicolas Cage Wants Chocolate Cake. And there's a movie called Family Man where he's like, there's a scene where he screams, "Where's my chocolate cake?" And then they just took like parts of that and made it into a song. And then it's just him like talking about rotisserie chicken and his wife eating chocolate cake for the entire song.
Wow, that's incredible, man.
But I mean, like, I understand, like, if it doesn't work, it's not worth it. But the fact that someone is, I think David Lynch said it. He said that Nicolas Cage is the jazz musician of actors.
Yeah, you've said that to me before. I remember you quoting that. Yeah, and that is an amazing way to understand Nicolas Cage, because like if you think about it that way, it makes perfect sense.
It does.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Because he tries and improvises in ways that aren't conventionally. Acting has been like, this is how you act since the 60s.
Yeah.
And it's really fun to see other people, like people trying other things and making it work.
Yeah. Fuck, man, you're so right. And he really is one of a kind. Like, no one else is doing what Nicolas Cage is doing in terms of like the choices they make, the roles they pick, all of that. It's
like now he's at the point where he can just do whatever the fuck he wants. Like when in the 90s, like when he did Gone in 60 Seconds, that's a shit movie, by the way.
I've never seen it.
It's like, what do you need to remember? There's like, it's Fast and the Furious with Angelina Jolie and white dreadlocks. That's the entire movie.
She has white dreadlocks.
Yeah. It's Gone in 60 Seconds refers to how fast Nicolas Cage can steal a car. But it's like, that was like the when his like, he was he was Tom Cruise back then.
He was, man. Yeah, that's true.
Which is like, you can't say that he's that now, because like what he did, he was assigned that role by the executives, and he broke out of it. Because like if he had just kept doing that, he would be on par with Tom Cruise now.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Because he would, like, you know, he'd be able to do the same kind of stuff, and he would have the same kind of notoriety.
Yeah.
But he broke out of that, trying to do more like independent stuff and more interesting stuff, and that's like the main vibe way I like him, because it's like, I want to make something new.
Well, he's a rogue, man. He does whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah,
in a way.
It's just like, 'cause there's so many other like artists that I respect for doing that, like Lloyd Kaufman. What's his name? Is his name?
Lloyd?
Yeah, Lloyd Kaufman.
I don't know who that is.
If I'm not saying his name wrong, I know it's Lloyd. I think Kaufman, but I'm not sure. He's the guy who started Troma. Troma it's a publishing, like a film publishing company.
Okay. Yeah.
Based out of New York, I think.
Yeah.
And their goal is to release trash.
Yeah.
Like utter trash.
Like subversive?
Not
just,
even.
Just trash.
Dude, Toxic Avenger.
Never heard of it.
Night of the Chicken Dead.
Nope. I will go down this rabbit hole, man, because like I love shit like that, but I've never heard of any of this.
Okay, so you need to watch Poultrygeist, Night of the Chicken Dead.
Poultrygeist, Night of the Chicken Dead? Dude, I will watch that tonight.
Dude, please do. Like the quote from one of my best friends. He's a very creative person. His name is Erik Jansson.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "This is the only movie that ever gave me a headache." It's like either you love it or you fucking hate it.
Okay, fuck yeah. I can't wait.
It's very appalling.
I can't wait, man. I'm super excited.
It's extreme in every way it can be extreme. It's about, I don't know, it's hard to describe, but it's a musical.
Yeah.
It's a splatter horror.
Okay.
And it's an offensive comedy.
Okay, all right.
And like there's small details, like there's a guy who works in they open a KFC basically, but it's called like Army Chicken, and it's like a chicken with a fucking army outfit.
Mm-hmm.
And they open it on an Indian burial ground.
Oh God. And
then there's one who, like, all of the people who work at this KFC thing are literal like racist stereotypes.
Oh my God.
And then one of them is this Mexican dude called Jose, and he falls into the meat grinder, but then he comes back to life as Sloppy Jose, which is a talking
Sloppy
sandwich.
Joe, yeah. Dude, oh my God. It sounds hilarious, dude.
It is. I highly recommend watching that one and Terror Firmer. Those are going to be like, you are going to either fucking hate them or you're going to find them extremely entertaining.
Yeah, but there's even if I hate something, sometimes I enjoy that experience. Like I would almost rather watch something that I viscerally dislike than something that's just like, eh.
Yeah, dude, that happened to me. I was in film school, and like we were preparing to shoot a film. I was supposed to be the DP, but I got demoted because I broke my wrist doing The Worm. And then I shot another film like a couple of weeks later, and I did a great job. So like there was no reason to demote me at all. And I became kind of like the producer, assistant director. And in order to get the crew pumped, we decided to have screenings. And the film was about an unexpected pregnancy.
Okay.
So I was thinking, like, what are, like, I was asking the director, what are your influences, and, like, how do you want to do it? And he's like, I want to have, like, a little bit of a surreal feeling to it. Because it's basically, like, his different emotions or different senses talking to him. So it became like one guy walking around this abandoned area, and he was talking to all his feelings. We quoted this fucking movie for like the entire year after shooting it because it was ridiculous. But it was when we were leading up to production, we had screenings like every Tuesday night or something. Yeah, we would meet up, watch a movie. And I picked most of the movies based on the fact that I had seen so many films compared to the director. So my first screening night, I showed Eraserhead. And there was one guy, and like he literally, like he could not hold himself. He was like screaming at me almost. Really? He was like, "Why the fuck did you show me this film?" And I was like, "You had a reaction, man.
Yeah, that's true.
You reacted." He's
that's
like,
true.
I'm so fucking angry right now. And I was like, why? Because this fucking piece of trash movie. And I was like, made you feel something.
He hated it that much?
I don't think he hated it. I just think that he didn't like whatever emotions got out of him from watching it.
Yeah.
Because it is like, a very intense viewing experience.
It is for sure, man. Yeah.
And I think but at the same time, it's like I've watched several films where I did not feel any joy, and I still managed to be like, wow, this was amazing.
Yeah,
It's
definitely,
man. Most of Lars von Trier's films,
Yeah.
I don't feel any compassion or joy or laughter most of the time watching those films, but I still fucking, like, they grip me and they shove me in the ground, and I'm like, wow, this was an experience.
But that's also the point, right? Like, I feel like it doesn't, like a film, like if honestly, man, I don't think I've ever seen a Lars von Trier film. But my impression is that like his intention is not to create shit that you're going to watch and feel happy about. It's meant to like evoke some other kind of emotional response out of you.
Provocateur.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
Yeah.
But wait, you haven't watched a single film by him?
I don't think so.
Like not even like out of the big one, like Antichrist?
Nope, have not seen Antichrist.
Or Melancholia?
I have seen Melancholia.
Yeah.
I hated that movie. I fucking hated that movie. I don't know. I could not tell you, man.
I also hate that movie, but I love it.
When did I watch that? I probably watched that
when it came out, 2011.
No, it was not 2011. I watched it maybe when I was in film school, or like around like 2015, 2016.
Dude,
because like I was basically just like trying to watch as many movies as possible at that point in time, and that was like one of the things on my list, and so I ended up watching it. But I have very little memory of it. All I remember is that I fucking hated it.
Yeah, but no, I mean, I believe everything that's happening in the movie, no matter how ridiculous it is.
Yeah.
And I hate the main character. I understand her struggles. Like, she has depression. It's hard for her.
Yeah.
And, you know, the end of the world doesn't matter as much to her as it does to anyone else.
Yeah.
Because she's already, like, given up. And, there's a lot of shit with her. But, like, at the same time, she is fucking annoying. She's the main issue of the film.
Yeah.
And her sister, amazing character as well. Not likable. I don't like her.
Yeah.
The one character that you kind of like is the husband of the sister, and what does? He goes and kills himself. So
yeah.
And he's the one who's like, "Don't worry, it's not gonna hit us. It's not gonna hit us." And then the minute he finds out that, oh shit, it might hit us, he kills himself.
Yeah.
And like, he was the person you were supposed to like.
Yeah.
Or like, that's at least how I interpreted it. And then, I mean, like, apart from that, the whole opening, super surreal, Tristan and Isolde is playing.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't make any sense. And then he bookends it with the ending, which is just the same thing, but then you see the fucking Melancholia planet hitting Earth.
Yeah.
And it just makes you feel a lot of things, but none of those things is like, wow, I like this flick.
Yeah.
And that you're not going to watch a Lars von Trier film. Dogville.
Yeah.
I want to say that I walked out of Dogville being like, I really fucking love this film. But also House of Jack Built. But House of Jack Built is like literally a comedy.
Yeah.
Like, it is actually funny.
Yeah.
But Dogville was shot in a studio. It takes place in a village in small town America in like the early settlers' time. It's like early 1800s or something like that. Mm-hmm. The entire fucking set is drawn on the ground. What? The entire village is chalk on the ground.
In like a set.
In a black studio.
And the whole movie takes place there?
Yes.
Really?
It's the thing is, like, it was also someone on YouTube who said this way better than I'm ever going to say it, so I'm just going to quote him, but I don't know who it is. But it's like, when you first look at it, you're like, oh, this is so pretentious and ridiculous.
Yeah.
But you know what it does? It takes away everything that you can be distracted by. Everything. So the only thing that you're left with is people and their emotions.
Wow.
And Nicole Kidman plays the main character.
Wow. Okay, dude, that I will watch. I will definitely watch that.
It's like 3 hours long.
Yeah.
It's brutal as fuck.
Really?
You will not be feeling good after seeing that film.
Jesus, okay.
I
might wait a few weeks.
It has some sort of a redemption to it, but it's still not going to leave you with good feelings, you know?
Yeah.
But it's also like, man, there's one more film that I highly recommend watching by him. Like the Depression trilogy, like, that came out now during the 2010s, like Nymphomaniac, Melancholia, Antichrist. Those are the films that most people have seen. For me, like, if I had to recommend one thing, it would be the original Kingdom.
Okay.
Like his first TV show. It's in Danish. It takes place in a hospital. It's about ghosts. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But if there's one film that I will recommend that you watch without saying anything more than it's a musical, and that the main actress is Björk.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Dancer in the Dark.
Yeah. I've heard of it. Never seen it. Is that Lars von Trier as well? Really? I didn't know
It
that.
is. I'm like, thinking about that movie makes me want to cry.
Really? Wow, man. Okay.
And there's other movies that are very similar by him. He has, I think that's a part of another of his trilogies.
Okay.
So he's made another one with Emily Blunt, or no, what's her name? Emily Watson, called Breaking the Waves, which is also like very, very similar and equally bad. Not equally bad, but very similar in the way that he I think it's the way he portrays like female main characters in those films that really fucks with you.
Yeah.
Because there's a naivete to it, and the world is not meeting that at all. So it just becomes very bleak, like extremely bleak.
Yeah, I have a hard time with that, man. Because like I'm already like pretty like nihilistic. And so like watching something that also feels like really bleak and hopeless, it's hard for me sometimes.
I mean, like it's not a nice feeling, but it's also like, you know, it's art.
Yeah, for sure.
It's
I just feel like I look for the opposite because I already feel that so often, you know, like in my life. So it's like it's not something that I like seek out necessarily.
Completely understand it. I
Yeah.
had so many like arguments with the my ex-girlfriend who I started Big Hill with.
Yeah.
I would a lot of times be like, wow, you're only listening to very depressive music.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, but I feel like I want more happiness out of music.
Yeah,
I want to be uplifted by music.
Yeah.
And then it kind of like became a thing also because I like, I mean, there's some happiness within the music I write, but it's not within the actual like narrative.
The content, no, definitely not.
It's
dude.
it's in the act of like doing it and performing it.
Well, man, when you perform your stuff live, it makes me dance and sing. Like I feel very positive, actually.
Yeah. And that's my goal.
Yeah. But I also
It's not the content that I'm presenting though.
No, but I kind of like that in a way. We're like even like at the wedding, for example, man, like singing along to one of your songs and like knowing the lyrics, but like dancing and smiling at the same time. It's like this weird kind of like oxymoronical experience that makes it fucking awesome. Like that's part of the charm of it to me.
I feel like that's why I feel like Happiness is one of my best songs.
Yeah.
Because it really encapsulates that.
Is that Remember We're Going to... Yeah. Dude, that's the one that I remember singing at the wedding where everyone was shouting, like, Remember We're Going to Die. It was amazing.
I legitimately, like, missed almost 1.5 verse.
Really?
Dude, I was drunk.
I know you were. Yeah, I know you. You also had beer all over you.
Oh, not in the first half.
That's true.
That was
that
Vinny's
happened
fault.
later. That happened later. That was hands down, I think, my absolute favorite performance of yours ever. Hands down.
I understand that, but I watched the video sober afterwards.
And you not a fan?
Really, really bad. No, okay. There are certain aspects of the performance that I really wish that I could do without being that drunk. That I think made you guys enjoy it more. But quality wise, it was not good.
Yeah. You mean like in terms of the singing or like the...
Dude, I legitimately did 2 songs completely fucking wrong and missed maybe more than 35% of the lyrics. Yes. But you guys did not notice that because what I was doing instead was fucking...
But dude, this is also why I loved it so much, man. Because I've seen you get involved, but I've never seen you dance like that on stage.
I was fucking excited.
It was fucking amazing. It added so much to the performance. For
And I
me.
think that's my goal of like turning 30 is to be able to get to a point. Because the thing about playing Aiden's wedding is that I have never gone up on stage without an ounce of nervousness.
And you had no nervousness
I
at
did
all.
not think about being nervous the entire time. I was like, this does not matter at all.
Yeah.
I don't really care if anyone here like loves it afterwards because I know that the people who are here are fucking shit-faced and they're already enjoying it, which I should be thinking most of the time when I play anyway, because most people are, so it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
And I'm overthinking it a lot, but I'm like, and also like, for example, Elle, she's seen me live 3 times. And apart from the wedding, which all you guys thought was like one of my best performances, the other 2 she has seen has been bar none the worst. I think that performance-wise, she's been to 3 shows.
Yeah.
And all of them were the worst
She
performance-wise.
The one Hostel one that I was at as well.
Yeah.
That was not your best show, I agree. What was the other one?
The first one. The first Big Kill live ever in České Budějovice.
Oh, okay. I thought the first one was at Sir Toby's.
No, first one was in České Budějovice.
Oh, okay.
It was some random guy. Like, it was so funny because it was his name is I forgot what his name was.
Hamza.
Fuck. Yeah. No, Kuba. From České Budějovice. He texted me and he's like, "Hey man, I love your music. Where are you from?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm from Sweden, but I live in Prague." And then he's like, "Oh, and are you doing any gigging outside of Prague?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, hopefully I get to come to wherever you live soon. And, you can enjoy my music." And he's like, "That's why I'm writing."
And he invited you to go and play.
And he's like, "Yeah, come play the show." And it was a festival, like a city festival in České Budějovice.
That's so sick.
And it was just because they found one of my songs through Spotify playlisting.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I have to go pee.
What's the dance video?
So we shot a dance video, a ballet.
Oh, with what's his name? And what's his name?
Frasier and Kuba.
Yeah.
The boys.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Those guys are funny, man. I only met them once, but they're very funny.
They're entertaining, for sure.
Yeah,
and they're very good dancers.
Yeah, they're super talented, man. Yeah, that's very true.
But did I tell you about that shooting day?
Maybe.
I mean, we got fucking gun pulled us and shit.
No. Really? Wait, in Prague?
No, it was like 35 minutes out of Prague.
Okay.
It's like a village. It was an interesting experience. Cause like we'd been planning for months, and everything was sorted out. I felt so prepared. Like this time, nothing can go wrong. And I drove. I picked up the van the night before. I parked it at my house. He said, "Oh, there might be some problems because I just had this fixed and there was an issue and blah blah blah." I was like, "Yeah, don't worry, it's not gonna be any problems. It's all sorted out."
Yeah.
I go pick up the food from Tira in the morning. So we got some like really nice wraps and some quiche. No, quinoa, sorry. Both start with a Q, so it's fair. And we get to Prague Film School to pick up some shit that we had stored there over the night. And when I park on Strosova, there's a trail of diesel on the ground behind me. And I didn't notice it until I slipped in it.
Oh,
and I was like,
man.
this is what he was talking about. So I immediately call him and I was like, "Hey, man, what do I do?" And he's like, "Did you call the mechanic number I gave you?" Yeah, he didn't pick up. Ah, shit. And it's May 8th, so it's like a national holiday in the Czech Republic.
Fuck, man. Yeah,
But this guy,
no one's gonna come and help you.
No, like he comes. But he comes out in like his shorts and flip-flops, he's fucking ready to have Sunday dinner or something like that. It's probably 8 in the morning.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to leave at 7:30. And he comes, he tries to fix it. He's like, "Sorry, I can't." So I just like producer.
So there was
brain
like what,
goes
like a
on.
leak or something?
Yeah,
with
it was leaking diesel.
That's terrible.
Yeah. And so I jump on and we manage to like, okay, the only solution is like we get an Uber XL.
Yeah.
And we stuff as much shit as we can into the Uber XL and hope to God that he doesn't drive away when he sees the gear. And we get one. And he comes in and we get out to location. I think we arrive like 2 hours behind schedule. Start shooting. Everything's going well. It's heavy as shit. We're shooting on DJI Ronin Alexa 35. I'm DP. And most of the day is going swimmingly, apart from like intense sunburn. Like the first day of sun.
Yeah.
We're in a field with no like shade whatsoever. It's
baking.
hot as shit.
Yeah.
Like I'm flaking from my arms still.
Jesus, man.
And we keep shooting and shooting and shooting and shooting. We're doing pretty fine, but I'm starting to worry about time. Director keeps asking for another shot, you know, and we're getting through it. We're gonna make sure this works. We have everything, and then we're taking a small break while setting up for the next shot and everything. I'm sitting down, and then this car pulls up, and it's a Czech guy comes out, and he starts speaking, doesn't check. We only have one Czech speaker on set.
Yeah.
So he's like talks to him for a minute, and then the guy goes he opens his trunk, takes out a scoped hunting rifle, brings it out, and like literally like almost points it at all of us. And then he goes into his front seat and just puts it next to him, and he drives off 20 meters and just sits there in the car.
And waits.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
We're like,
wait, why?
What the fuck is happening?
Do you know what happened? Like, did the Czech speaker tell you what he said, or?
He said that we're not allowed to be here. This is a hunting ground.
Oh.
And the thing is, the Czech speaker was not aware that we have a fucking permission to be there.
Yeah, sure.
So we're like, yeah, okay. Like, don't worry. We're on our way. We're almost done. And we have him go off. And then we're fine. We keep shooting. No one is bothered. Our main dancer needs to go to the bathroom, so she gets in the car and goes off to a gas station. I'm like, this is the worst fucking time to go to the bathroom. I mean, like, sorry, she's been holding herself for like hours.
Yeah.
So it's like, what are we supposed to do? But like, the light is coming down. We're waiting for sunset. We're gonna get that golden hour shot. We only have a very limited amount of light for it, and we need to do it at the right time. They have been gone for half an hour, and they call me, and they're like, hey, so they're blocking the road. Like, we can't get to set.
What?
And it's this guy with a gun.
Oh my god.
And he's like parked in the middle of the road, and he's like, yeah, and arguing, and he's like yelling at Kuba, the only Czech speaker.
Yeah.
That like they're gonna call the police, and they're gonna call the mayor, and like, we're not allowed to be here, and blah 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 blah. And Kuba still unaware that we have permission, because no one, like, Fraser has told him, but he does not remember it, you know?
Yeah.
So he doesn't say that. And they're like, they on the spot make a call to the mayor of the village.
What?
And say that there's a bunch of black dudes running in the fields.
What the
We had
fuck?
3 Indian people on
Yeah,
on
sure.
crew.
What the fuck, man?
So we're like, okay. And then finally they pull up the set, and Fraser runs on and he's like, stop shooting, guys, stop shooting. Because we're trying to like pick up stuff while the dancers are not there. We're trying to get some like environment shots or just do something with the fucking expensive gear we're sitting on, you know?
Yeah.
And they're like, stop shooting, like the police is coming. And I'm like, but we have permission. And then Fraser is like losing his mind, because like, he's not a filmmaker, you know, and he's not aware of all this shit. It's his second or third film production. And I'm like, I don't care. Like, he can shoot me. Like, just let us just fucking roll. I don't give a shit. Like, I'd rather have him shoot me, to be honest.
I don't think he was ever gonna shoot.
No. I don't think he would ever. But it was a little backwoods vibe. And then the police rolls up, and they're like, "You're fine. Sorry about this."
Yeah, of course.
Like, they're just scared, weird country folk.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so can we shoot? And they're like, "Yeah, go ahead." And I'm like, "Okay." Repark the car. I'm like on work mode.
Let's
like,
go.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's go.
yeah.
And this, like, there's this fucking crack, like, right in between a big cloud that has been covering the sun for most of the time and the mountain range, and it's coming out. I'm giving it like, maybe we have 10 minutes of light right now.
Gotta do it.
Let's
yeah.
fucking go.
Yeah.
And half the shot is unusable because I'm stressing so much that I'm walking. So like, the camera's going like this. And then we finally get up there and we get the shot, and it's in the movie. Like, the shot is in the movie.
Yeah.
But we paid like 8,000 crowns for a fucking nice old car. That because of all this jumble that happened, that car is literally just expensive dirt in the frame. We can see
You barely. Oh,
you can see
man.
like a little bit of the front seat, and a little bit of like in the edges of the frame you see parts of the car.
Oh man.
But you know, it still looks good. We still did a fucking great film.
Send it to me. I want to see it, man. I
Yeah.
don't think you've showed me.
I can show you. It's not done yet. It's being done on. I actually just got, like, during the recording of this podcast, I got the first pass from the grader.
Nice. Hell yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, I would love to see it, dude.
I think it will be a solid piece, and I really think it will help us get the next one done, which is nice.
What do you mean the next one with the dancers?
Yeah, I mean, like, we kind of got a little crew going, and we work really well together. Like, it's weird that I got placed as the DP in this situation because I'm really I kind of stepped away from being a DP. I shot a lot of stuff before I went to film school, amateurishly, and then I've shot stuff out of necessity. But I'm never really like, oh, I'm gonna be a DP. I'm gonna be a fucking great director of photography. No, I don't give a shit. I like frames. I like light.
Yeah.
That's about the extent of the technical knowledge I have also. So it's like, I hired on one of the guys that I know was like probably who I would hire as a DP right now if I had to on the spot hire a DP would be him. So I'm like, this is the guy I'm going to have as my AC.
Yeah.
So he helped me pick the gear. He helped me, like, I'm talking about what I want. He's like, let's get this. So like, I just say what I want, and he's like, we'll sort it. We'll do it this way. And then it becomes almost like literally I am the director of photography. I am not really choosing what gear we use or whatever, like, lighting situation we're using. I'm saying this is what I want. We'll figure it out somehow. Yeah. And then we do it together. And then having that knowledge from the other people really helps because I've not fucking clue what I'm doing. But then for some reason, these guys really like working with me as a DP, and I really like shooting and editing for this director. Yeah. Like, I feel like we agree like 70% of the time, which is a fucking lot.
That's great. Yeah. I was gonna say, man.
And he's just very easy to work with, and like, he's very open to seeing my suggestions. And whenever that's the main thing what I love, because most of the time when people are shutting down my suggestions, they don't have an informed answer of why. And I'm like, I know my idea is better than yours. And then, like, I can always kind of like justify my ideas because I'm saying like, this is why I think this works.
Yeah, sure.
And then he can always come with like, this is why I think it doesn't.
Dude, that's so useful, man.
If I can get that from anyone, I just like, he has like maybe, I think he got like 7. I was going to say 16, but 7 years on me, age-wise.
Okay.
And he's been in the industry a little bit longer because of that, because it takes a while to get into it, and I just feel like most people that I've worked with have like as directors, when I've not been the director myself, has like a lot of inexperience, whereas this guy, like, sure, he might not know everything, but he knows what he's fucking doing, which is lovely.
Yeah.
To like work with someone, especially when he's like, both of the stuff I've shot with him has been a 1-day shoot, and we have had no conclusive plan.
You just go into it and kind of like freestyle almost.
No, like there has always been a plan because there's always been a choreography.
Okay.
But how do we shoot it?
It's loose. Yeah.
Like we just want to be able to follow and see what happens, and like.
Yeah, I mean, dude, that's like I feel like that's a shooting style that doesn't work all the time. Like you have to be working with people who are okay, like kind of running and gunning it and like making it up as you go along. But if you like working that way, then that's honestly like probably really fun.
I think there's a very limited set of circumstances where it works.
Yeah.
And I was like, off the top of my head, the only times it has worked is shorter experimental pieces or music videos.
Yeah.
Which is technically shorter experimental pieces.
Yeah, that's very true, man. Yeah.
Because then you can kind of like, you can, there's this idea of like a lot of like abstract painting where it's supposed to be like intuition. You're just kind of going with whatever feels right.
Feel
and
it,
like it doesn't really matter what is happening. It's more about like just going with it.
Yeah.
Which is like, you can do that. You can be that way with your shots if you're doing experimental stuff.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to convey some bigger point, like if you're trying to convey a bigger theme or a bigger arc, Usually the arcs are harder. But like when you're just trying to convey an emotion, like fuck it, do whatever you want.
Well, yeah, exactly, man. Yeah.
And usually like unless like there's a music video where the artist wants like a huge story to make sense throughout it, it's usually just like performance and feelings.
Yeah.
And like, you know, this is what the song should feel like. And like that's one of the things I love also, like, you know, working with music videos and the amount of music videos that I've shot and directed throughout the years, just like you kind of like develop a way of how you like to do those things.
Mm-hmm.
And once you work with like, 'cause there's one band, two of the members from Simmer Grandioso,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
they have another band called Bottle Cap.
Okay.
I think I've done 6 videos for them. Directed 4 of them, edited 2 of them.
Dude, hell yeah.
Yeah, 6 videos. And like that has been in part some of my film school.
Yeah.
Like trying to figure that shit out. Because like first time they wanted me to do something for them, they were like, "Oh, do you have any ideas?" And my first idea was, my friend has built his own green screen studio.
Mm.
Never shot green screen before. Had no fucking clue what I was doing. The general idea of like having an equally or like flatly lit background when doing green screen, was not aware that was something you were supposed to do.
Yeah.
So it was shit, like really shit. But I leaned into it and just like, yeah, let's make it trashy then. And they're like, yeah, let's make it trashy. Like they're not paying me. I was experimenting and we were just having fun.
Yeah.
And it's been like a consistent, like now I've been pushing to try to like, if they're doing a music video for Bat in My House,
dude,
I want to do it.
You should, man.
I want to.
That song is so
if
fucking
you see
good.
this, Gustav, and the rest of you fuckers, I will do the music video for Bat in My House.
I'm going to cut that and send it to them.
Please do.
I will, man. That song is so good. Yeah.
Dude, I can't stop. I've listened to it every day since it came out.
Yeah, I know, man. I know.
It's so good.
I don't know if I've listened to it every day, but I keep going back to it for sure. Yeah. I'm listening to it consistently.
I'm also like, you know, I'm so consistently wanting to help these guys that I have placed it in a playlist with a lot of other music that I like. I'm going like scrolling all the way down to the end of that playlist with like fucking 2,000 songs on it and playing it from that playlist. Dude, so that they will get like, you know, related artists. Like I know the Spotify struggles.
Is that how it works on Spotify? Like it's all about playlists.
The playlist is extremely important.
Really, man? Wow.
Really important.
I guess that makes sense though, because like even for me when I use Spotify, like I often will go to a playlist to listen to something.
Dude, the best thing that you can do to support like Big Kill.
Yeah.
Make a playlist that has all the Big Kill songs, but not like, you know, like, it's, you know, and also add other stuff that fits with it, that you think fits with
something
it.
Similar, yeah.
And then, you know, like, you add like, I don't know, like, what is it, 9 Big Kill songs that are out? Add all 9 Big Kill songs, and then maybe add 18 other songs.
Yeah, and make a playlist.
And then just play that playlist.
Okay, I will.
And what will happen is like, a related artist is very important. Extremely important.
Okay, so then it basically associates your music with whoever else is in that playlist.
Yeah, and right now, if you go to the Big Kill Radio, it's kind of like, I don't know who the fuck the other musicians are that are related to Big Kill. But if, you know, somehow like a uniformity happens where a lot of other people, like say that 50% of everyone who listens to Big Kill also listens to Devo. Yeah. Which would be a fucking, you know, that would be amazing.
Yeah, it would be sick.
Then in the long run, Devo and Big Kill would eventually algorithmically become related.
Okay,
There's no relation. But because of the listener's habits, it becomes related.
Yeah.
Which is... it's just interesting. It's like being placed in a playlist that a lot of people listen to is like the best way to spread your music.
Yeah, man, I really don't know how it works at all on Spotify.
But you're also not like a Spotify user.
No.
It's so weird to me. Like people who don't use Spotify are like, what the fuck?
I do use Spotify.
I know.
But it's not like my main source of music, no.
I know, like, yeah, like the only other, because you're also not a YouTube listener, right?
No, I have an iTunes library. I'm living in 2007, dude.
I know. But it's just weird because it's either one or the other.
For most people.
For like
Or Apple Music.
before I left Sweden, one or the other.
Yeah.
It was nothing else.
Yeah.
Like people use iTunes as like, what are you from fucking another world? And
I can't explain it. I cannot like justify it necessarily. It's just what I'm used to. Number one. Number two, I also like I really tend to listen to albums more than like playlists.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a collection of thousands of albums in my iTunes library that I've built over 10 years at this point.
No, and
I like being able to
makes so much sense.
I like being able to sift through, and man, I'm also like trying to listen to new shit as often as possible. So I'd say like I try, like right now I haven't been as much, but like usually I'm downloading 3 to 5 albums a week of new music to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
And I like being able to like go into the iTunes library and seeing like, okay, these are like the 20 things you downloaded in the past month. And like I can go back to the stuff I liked, like delete stuff I don't like, whatever.
You have a routine.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. It's a routine.
And that's like my music listening habits have been since 2006 been built around Spotify.
Yeah, so that's what you're used to. Has Spotify been around since 2006?
In Sweden. I don't know.
Oh yeah, it's a Swedish company.
Yeah. That might be a little bit of a stretch. Maybe 2007.
Okay, but still, that's like a very long time ago at this point.
But I know for sure that in like before I middle of high school, I was full into Spotify and nothing else. And I finished high school in 2011.
2011. Okay. I'm trying
like
to think, man. Like I don't even remember people using Spotify in high school. Maybe they were. I don't know. I don't remember.
It wasn't really like a worldwide phenomenon.
No, it wasn't as
at
popular.
that point. Like now it is the biggest music streaming service.
Yeah, it's almost like synonymous. Like I feel like most people are.
It was the first people who, like the first company who actually did that.
Yeah,
like they had a library where you could just search online and all the music was there.
Like streaming. Yeah.
But I mean, like, yeah, it's great and all for the listener.
It's terrible for the artist.
It's horrible.
It's honestly fucking awful, man. Yeah.
And the one of the main reasons why it is so awful is because of like, it's literally because of cheaters.
What do you mean?
You know, like how when you like played Counter-Strike and then someone would come in and just fucking kill everyone.
Yeah, sure.
And it ruins the game for everyone else. Yeah. There's people who like build fucking phone walls.
Mm-hmm.
That stream their album on Spotify as a fucking money-making machine.
So it's like it's an automated like thing that plays it.
Well, if you have
over
30
again.
phones on your wall that are programmed to play your song.
Oh, you mean like a literal phone wall?
Yes.
Okay.
And you have all of these phones programmed to play your song for like you have made an album of 10 songs. All of them are 30 seconds long.
Yeah.
And they're all like piano pieces that make no fucking sense.
Yeah.
What you can do then is make a playlist with all of these songs, or just go to this your artist profile, ask this artist, and have all 30 phones stream. So every 30 seconds you get 30 streams.
Yeah.
So that
okay.
Then that's
60
120
a minute.
an hour.
Yeah. No, more. 60 streams a minute if it's and yeah, dude, it's a lot.
No, it's 30 for 60 a minute. So 60 times 60
300 no 3,600
3,600
in an hour.
And that times 24, that becomes a shit ton of streams.
And what's the payment on a stream? Like what's the
$0.000789?
Are you fucking kidding me? It's that it's that low,
dude.
How many streams do you need to make $1? Do you know?
1,000
to make $1?
No, more. 10,000.
10,000 streams.
No, there's a way of looking this up. Like it's not.
I'm curious. Yeah.
But
yeah.
It is. So let's see. Spotify revenue. Spotify revenue calculator. Here, Music Gateways streaming royalties calculator. Let's so in this one you just put the amount of streams and then we put it in euros. So one stream on Spotify would amount to 0.00 euros.
It's nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's up it to 10. My phone locked. Or it froze, I mean, not locked. So, 10 in euros is 0.04.
10 streams.
Yes.
0.04?
Yes.
10.
Yes. So then 100 would be 0.37 euros. 1,000 is 3.7
euros.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
10,000 is 37 euros.
Okay.
100 is 372. A
million.
A million is 3,720.
That's actually more than I thought it was going to be.
It's not the lowest paying, but one of the lowest paying.
Yeah.
Apple Music and Tidal pays a lot more, I think.
Yeah, okay. But I mean, like, okay, yeah. I mean, 1 million streams that's a lot of fucking
But
streams.
most of the times when you get 1 million streams,
yeah,
you got to realize that not 3,700 of those euros is going to the artist or the songwriter.
Right.
Because there's like probably at least like more than 50% gets cut to the record deal or whatever.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, like maybe there is a songwriter and then there's studio musicians or whatever, like session musicians and all this shit. So like there's probably a lot of people involved.
Album artist.
Yeah, but if you do get as a solo artist, if like Captain's Law got, I mean it has like 50,000 streams right now. So technically, what I should have made like
300 euro. No, sorry, less.
Less.
Maybe 60 euros or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
60 seems right. Yeah, no, it's even more actually. It technically, but like this is over the course of, and this might not be correct, but it's over the course of the release, which was 2020 July.
Okay, so
I released it.
That's 3 years ago.
Yeah, so that's 186 euros in
Over
3
3
years
years.
for my most popular song.
Man, that's crazy, dude.
And I've gotten more streams on YouTube, on other things.
But you're not getting paid for that, right?
I am
Really?
getting music royalty
Really?
for the song,
Oh, okay,
not for the video.
Yeah.
But since it is within like the confines of a video and stuff, I don't know why, but YouTube is the worst payer. I think from all like 5 music videos that we posted on YouTube, from the music royalties, I think maybe I picked up $5.
Jesus, man.
And
that's
one of them has over 100,000 views.
It's so fucking crazy.
But then also like, I don't know how there's a lot more secrecy within the like. Spotify is trying to be transparent, which is nice, but also like fucking people are abusing the system of Spotify, and the fact that there's no barrier. Like I could record something on my phone today, and it could be on Spotify tomorrow.
Yeah, I know.
It's a lot harder than putting something on YouTube.
Well, you could upload whatever you want to YouTube as well.
Exactly, and that's why like YouTube makes a little bit more sense. You don't have to go through some company that has a deal with Spotify with YouTube in order to post something to YouTube.
Yeah.
So like it's a lot. The quality should be a lot higher technically, but at the same time, it's like then we should make a lot more money.
Yeah, for sure, man.
And I remember Metallica being so furious in like the 2000s about us pirating their shit. I was like, yeah, but we didn't have any money because we were kids.
Yeah.
Now the person who's taking all the money is the CEO of Spotify.
Yeah, man. But this is exactly. And this is like the thing where I don't want to say that I'm pro piracy necessarily, but
I am.
Yeah, I mean, I see both sides. Well, I guess
if you don't have any money, you should be able to still enjoy art.
Yeah, I agree with you. And to me, like the point for me in like a bigger way is that like these massive companies like Spotify are basically, I mean, look, they're paying the artist, but they're barely fucking paying the artist. It's very convenient for them and it's convenient for the consumer, but the people making the art are the ones who are losing out. And so in a way, like I would rather pirate something as opposed to like participate in a system where like the corporation is making most of the profit.
But that's the thing. Like the thing is, in the beginning times of Spotify, before a lot of people started abusing the system,
Yeah.
there was decent pay.
Yeah.
But basically, it's
Yeah,
like
that's the
it's like this.
fuck.
Every person in Europe who pays for Spotify Premium,
Yeah.
they pay their money into a pool,
Yeah.
and that pool goes for all of Europe. Every listener from Europe who listens to anything will pay a small amount towards the artist they're listening to. But the way that this pool system works is like, like the amount of money is the same, but the streams keep going up.
Yeah, so
it's just split among more
It's getting more
artists.
spread out, basically.
Yeah, it's getting more saturated in a way which is like, that's the fucking beauty of the internet, because we're getting everything. Like I finally dialed in my YouTube algorithm to give me like YouTube clips of 0 likes and 0 views.
Yeah.
It's
That's
giving
what
me,
you
like,
want. Yeah,
stuff that is completely fucking mental.
Yeah.
And it's like, why did you post this on YouTube? And that's what I want. That's what I want to see. I want to see the dark side of the internet, I don't want to see the stuff that 25 other million people
No, of
enjoyed.
course, man,
I want to see something that maybe I'm the only one who sees.
Yeah.
That's what I love about the internet. But the saturation is lovely in the sense that you can get access to anything. You can watch a guy like fucking slap cheese on his wall for 15 minutes while talking about aliens.
Yeah.
In a point of view handy cam video.
Yeah.
And you can enjoy that, but at the same time, like it like the finite amount of money that's within the platform, then like that's where YouTube wins, because YouTube has a system now. Whereas like 10 years ago when I started my YouTube channel, it was monetized.
Yeah.
I was like making money off of whatever fucking 12 views a month I got. Whereas now I'm not making any money off of that, because I don't have 1,000 subscribers and this amount of watch hours.
Yeah.
Because they're checking that in order for us to start a partnership with you and you make so that you can earn money off of our service, we need to like have some kind of proof
which
of
makes
quality.
sense to me, man. Like I understand that like measure being put in place because it is so oversaturated.
Yeah, but there's nothing like that on Spotify, because there is nothing, like there is no bar like that. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the thing. Everything keeps changing, and it's going to change.
So what do you think? Like they would like implement something where you have to have a certain number of like monthly plays or something in order to start monetizing on Spotify?
I think so. I think that would be.
But even that could still be hacked if people have a phone wall.
Yeah, I mean, like the main thing is like, figure out a way to stop cheaters. That's the main, because like that's the main thing about the fucking internet. Because like, dude, it's a young fucking environment, first of all, and it grows faster than any other fucking community.
That's true.
And it's worldwide.
Yeah.
And it's like it really reveals a dark side of humanity.
Yeah, I agree.
In a lot of ways.
I agree with
like
you.
we
man.
get to see, because people think they're anonymous for some fucking reason.
Yeah.
But we're also like, everyone is stumbling. You know, and like when we were fucking children, people were like, "Oh, the .com bubble, it's gonna burst, man." Look at all those people now.
I know, man.
It's just a very nonsensical place, and it's where we are like kind of forced to try and make our money from as independent artists.
Well, I mean, yes, in a way, right? Like, I think it makes sense to try and gravitate towards it a little bit, because it seems like there's opportunity there, and it seems like it's a good way to reach people. Because
like you wouldn't have sold that many paintings if no one had seen it online.
No, 100%, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, but at the same time, I the more that I like do it, the more I want to move away from it.
Yeah, and I think like that's there's a reason why this is becoming a job.
Yeah.
Like people don't want to deal with it. It's
Yeah.
not something that like I'll deal with like handle my fucking Facebook and Instagram page.
Yeah. That's so true, man. Yeah. Like you hire people now to take care of that shit for you, basically. Yeah.
And then like
That's so crazy,
there's actually people out there who are like who enjoy doing that and like want to make this into their careers.
Yeah.
And it's appalling to me, but at the same time I want my stuff to be out there and I want people to see it. But for most of the time, it's like I have my Instagram, and I post like I used to try and post more stuff, but the thing is like I think there was kind of because like as I said like before, it's like I only have 10% of my time or so to put into Big Kill.
Yeah, sure.
And maybe back then when I was posting, I had a little bit more because it was like high COVID times, but I realized pretty soon that like I think it was an actor friend of mine who was like, yeah, like Holden has posted some like small animation again, and it's like they it's not really that interesting like that I was doing. I was just trying to more go for quantity over quality.
Yeah.
Like I still enjoyed all the stuff I created.
Yeah, I know. Man.
But no one else did.
Yeah,
like I enjoyed creating it and I enjoyed like fucking around. But in the end, I realized also that no one was actually listening to the music.
Yeah.
People were only watching the whatever visuals I had created for the music. So then like, and that was just filler.
Yeah.
That was never supposed to be the main aspect of what I was doing. I was sharing my songwriting.
But dude, this is exactly the same experience that I had recently with like making the reels and building an audience of people who knew me for that, but didn't give a shit about the paintings. And for me, it's always been about the paintings.
Yeah.
And like now it's a weird position where I totally like agree or like connect with what you're saying, which is that like now like people will watch that stuff and I get engagement and like reactions from it, but it's the thing I don't want. Like that wasn't supposed to be the point. Like it was supposed to direct you into the thing that mattered, and it hasn't happened.
No.
Right. And so now I've just fucking stopped making videos, man, because like I'm sick of it. And I also like I don't want to keep building an audience of people that isn't necessarily what I'm looking for. Right. Like
yeah. And then those like at a certain point, when you get enough notoriety from that, they're going to be demanding.
But that's what I saw already happening, man, was like I watched myself start to put more and more energy into that because that's where I was getting the validation. And like, which I think is like a natural thing. It's like, oh, people like this, or I'm getting, like something out of it that feels positive. So I'm going to keep doing that. Yeah. But yeah, like I think you're right, is that's a trap in a way, because now, man, I look at some artists on Instagram who like, all they do is content creation basically, and like and then like they sell like stickers and like prints and stuff, and like it seems like they've stopped actually like painting and being creative and really just like put all of their energy into that because it's really monetizable. And some of them make a shit ton of money, man. They make a lot of fucking money. But like to me, weighing the option of being like, okay, I could go down that route and maybe make a lot of money, but like, is it worth it? Because then it's like almost like bastardizing the thing that I care about, right?
I feel that, but I'm also like, I'm the kind of person who is like, like I whenever people are worried about publicity being like not shown upon the thing they want to, all publicity is good publicity.
Yeah, that's true.
It's harder to keep to utilize publicity because like most people will like, put you in a spot. It's like I see that from a lot of people who really enjoy watching a lot of like the new era of content that is like short format for vertical phone.
Yeah.
And it's like oh, this guy does this thing.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing this guy is known for.
Yeah. They put you in a box.
This is like really, really awful, disgusting person who's just like, I have no. I don't know. He looks like a child, and he puts like ghost peppers in his mouth. That's his entire shtick.
Okay, maybe I've seen him. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, like it would probably show up because it's something that like blew up, like a while ago or something. I don't even know how the fucking algorithm works these days. But
dude, me neither. The one that gets me, and I get these videos recommended to me all the time, is just like usually like a dude just sitting in his car eating takeout food and then like reviewing it.
Oh, I wish I got that.
No, dude, I don't fucking understand. It's like
Especially if they're eating burgers. I used to watch people eat burgers and enjoy burgers.
They're always eating like burgers, fried chicken, fucking barbecue. Like it's always like this. Like it looks delicious, but it's crazy to me that they get like hundreds of thousands of views literally just by like ordering food, sitting in their car, and then saying like one or two things about it, and then saying at the end like, oh, 7.3 or whatever.
Yeah, it's always 7.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
7 point something.
Yeah. Never higher, never lower. Yeah.
No, because 7 is such a safe answer.
Yeah, of course. But that's the thing is that they're not really like, to me, it's like, what are you saying? What do you like? Why? If I want to go and see if a burger is good, I'll go fucking eat a burger and decide if it's good. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I love like reviewing burgers.
Yeah.
But I have not published any of my burger reviews anywhere.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe you should, man. That'd be hilarious.
It's just something that I like doing. I like to keep track of like I know where the best burger I've ever had was.
Yeah.
And where?
Where? Best burger?
Brewdog in Glasgow.
Oh, yeah. We talked about Brewdog.
Yeah.
I
think I mentioned this one. It was the one with like blood patty.
Yeah.
And chorizo
You
and a
told me
whiskey
about that,
barbecue.
yeah.
Oh, fucking
dude,
man.
that sounds fucking amazing. That's making me hungry, man.
And punk IPA on top
Dude,
of that.
yeah, Punk IPA is such a good beer.
It's also the beer that got me into IPAs.
Mm-hmm. I don't drink a lot of IPAs anymore, but that's one that I like remember.
Yeah, dude, that stopped the minute you moved to Czech Republic.
Well, yeah. Why would you ever drink an IPA?
Like here, you don't drink IPAs.
No.
For lack of more interesting lagers.
Yeah.
Here we got,
Dude, yeah,
we're fine.
Exactly, man. Yeah, I'm with you. Dude, let's wrap it up. I'm gonna head out here soon.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. Any last thoughts, Mr. Kill?
I want to reiterate whatever what's his name, Captain Dissolution says whenever he finishes a video. He says, love with your heart and use your brain for everything else.
Fuck yeah, dude. I love that. That's it. That's the perfect ending.